Good day everyone. So welcome back to this channel. So for this log, we're going to add a directional movement for our character. So it would be up and down, left and right. So let's get started. Now for the project structure, so inside this folder, we will going to have a CMake list.c, and then we're going to have a folder which are include folder, so and also src folder, and lastly we have an assets folder. So inside the include folder, we have an animation.h or a animation header file, and we have a game header file or game.h. Inside the src folder or source folder, we have animation.c and game.c and also the main.c, which is our entry point. So here inside the assets folder, we have a coin.png, run.png, and slime.png. So for the CMake lists.txt, it is our CMake file configuration. So CMake will generate the executable file, and it will going to link the libraries that we needed. And also CMake is our build system. So inside the animation header file, so we're going to have an animation struct. It will going to keep the texture and size of each frame. Numbers of frames are there, and timing and state control. So in line 25 up to 30, we will going to have our function prototypes. So for the animation.c file, we will going to have an animation underscore create, and we're going to allocate and initialize a new animation. Now for the line 24 up to 30, we will going to check if it is enough time passed since the last frame. So it will going to advance the frame in a frame index and loops back to the frame 0 when reaching the end. So for the line 36 up to 50, we have an animation render. So it will going to draw the correct frame on the screen. So it will calculate the SRC or the source rectangle. So it means a portion of the sprite sheet to draw or renders the frame at the opposite X and Y. Now for the line 53 and up to so for the line 53 up to 61, we have the animation play and the animation stop. So it is a control for playing and stopping the animation. And now in line 64 up to 66, we're going to clean up the memory used by the animation struct. So inside the game header file, we have a game struct. So here in line 15 and 26, we have a game struct, and we have the sprite sheet, and we have the character animation system. And here we have the character X and Y, that is the position of the character, and the speed X and Y, it is the velocity of the character when pressing the arrow keys. And now here in line 29 up to 33, we have the function prototypes. Now for the game.c file, we have to set up our SDL image or to load the PNG file, and also the creation of our window and renderer. So that is in line 7 up to 28. In line 38 up to 42, we're going to initialize our character animate, and then we're going to set also or initialize the properties of our character animation or character animate. And in line 45, we're going to set the game running to true. So in line 51 up to 81, we're going to have a game handle event function, and then this will responsible for the keyboard input or events. So in line 58 up to 81, this is the key press event. So it will going to able to control the character by pressing the keys or the arrow keys. So in line 83 up to 99, it is the continuation of the game handle event for the key states. So in line 103 up to 107, we have a game update. So we're going to update the player or the moves of the character or the player, and update the animation of the frame based on time. So in line 111 up to 121, we have a game render function. So this game render function will draw the current frame of the player animation. Also for the line 125 up to 132, we have a game cleanup. So the game cleanup function will destroy the texture, renderer, and the window, and it will going to quit the SDL properly. So which means it will going to free the resources that we used. Lastly, for our entry point, so we have the main.c file. So here we have the main, or we're going to initialize the game, and then we will going to have a main loop for the game, and it will going to handle the input, update the game logic, and then render the frame and wait a little bit for the consistency of the frame rate, or the FPS, or 60 frames per second. Now we're going to build our project. So we're going to use the CMake file that we just created, and then when the CMake create the executable file, we will going to execute that file. And that's it for the adding a directional movement functionality to our sprite sheet or for our character. So for the next video, we're going to add a directional movement, and also with collision. So thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment what you would like to do next in the next vlog.